Hello, viewers. In today's session, we are going to discuss one very important problem from composition of functions, right? So here we have two functions, f of x, which is mod of x minus 1, and g of x, which is greatest integer of 2x minus 1. And we have to find the composition of g and f when x is minus 1 over 5, and in the second part we have to find the composition of f and g when x is equal to minus 1 over 5, and in the third part we have to find the difference of these two values, right? So let us start. So here what we have to do, see we have GOF. O is the composition of G and F. So GOF, it means the composition of G and F is given by G of F of X, right? So this is the basic rule for the composition of the functions g and f. So here when we find the composition of g and f, then fx is the input for this function g, right? So f of x should be in the domain of the function g. Similarly, when we have the function that is fog, that is composition of f and g, then we have the rule that is f of the function g of x, right? So in this case the function g of x should be in the domain of the function f, right? So in case of fog, we have a g of x as the input function for the function f, and in case of gof, we have the input function for g as f of x, right? So here we are given x is equal to minus 1 over 5, right? So in the first case we have GOF, will call it as GOF. So GOF of minus 1 over 5 implies that G of f of minus 1 over 5, right? So first we have to find f of minus 1 over 5. So f of minus 1 over 5 is obtained by taking x is equal to minus 1 over 5 in this function. So we have mod of minus 1 over 5 minus 1. So this is minus 1 minus 5 over 5, and this is minus 6 over 5, that is positive 6 over 5, right? Because the mod function makes all these numbers positive. So we have positive 6 over 5. So here we have g of f of minus 1 over 5, which is now g of 6 over 5, right? So now the input for the function g is 6 over 5. So now the function g of x is the greatest integer of 2x minus 1. So to get the value of g of 6 over 5, we'll take x is equal to 6 over 5. So we have now 2 times 6 over 5 minus 1. So this is greatest integer of 12 over 5 minus 1. That is 12 minus 5 over 5. That is greatest integer of 7 over 5. And if we divide 7 by 5, we'll get 1.4, right? So now the value of greatest integer of 1.4 is equal to 1. Why? Because see, 1.4 is greater than 1, but it is less than 2. And by the definition of greatest integer function, we know that greatest integer of x is equal to n minus 1 whenever x is greater than or equal to n minus 1 but less than n, and greatest integer of x is equal to n when x is greater than or equal to n but less than n plus 1, right? So the greatest integer of 1.4 is 1, and now we have the value of the composition of g and f at x is equal to minus 1 over 5 is equal to 1, right? So let us find out the value of the composition of f and g at x is equal to minus 1 over 5. So now f composition g at minus 1 over 5 can be written as f of g minus 1 over 5, right? So now we have to first calculate g of minus 1 over 5. So what we will do, we'll first find out a g of minus 1 over 5. So g of minus 1 over 5 is given by taking x is equal to minus 1 over 5. In this expression, we have 2 times minus 1 over 5 minus 1. So this is greatest integer of minus 2 over 5 minus 1, and this is minus 2 and minus 5 over 5. So this is greatest integer of minus 7 over 5. And if we divide 7 over 7 by 5, we have minus 1.4, right? And now the greatest integer of minus 1.4 is given by minus 2, because minus 1.4 is greater than minus 2 but it is less than minus 1. So minus 1.4, it lies between minus 2 and minus 1. So the value of g of minus 1 over 5 is minus 2. So here we have now f of minus 2, right? Because g of minus 1 over 5 is minus 2. Now we have to find f of minus 2. F of minus 2 can be obtained by taking x is equal to minus 2 in this function. So we have mod of minus 2 minus 1, that is mod of minus 3, and this is equal to plus 3, right? So the value of the composition of the function f and g at x is equal to minus 1 over 5 is equal to plus 3. So now we have to find the difference between these two expressions. So the first one is equal to 1 and the second one is equal to 3. So we have 1 minus 3, that is equal to minus 2, right? So the value of this expression is equal to minus 2. So this is how by making use of the concept of composition of function, we can find out the values of these type of expressions.